This YouTube channel earned up to $38,000 in the last 30 days by posting faceless size comparison videos. This channel has gained over 162 million views and posted their first video just 2 years ago. Their most popular video was uploaded 1 year ago and has earned them an estimated $164,000. So in this video, I'll show you an easy way you can recreate videos for a channel like this in under 20 minutes. And to prove to you how easy this is, here's a sneak peek of one of the videos that I created. So the first thing you need to do is get ideas for your channel. In order to do this, you want to come on over to ChatGPT. Then once on ChatGPT, you want to ask it for a prompt like this. Give me ideas for a size comparison YouTube channel about similar topics per video. Now, as you can see, ChatGPT has gone ahead to give me lots of ideas that I could choose from. For example, ship size comparison, and then it tells you what to create your videos about. So compare the sizes of famous ships through history. Another one is mountain ranges size comparisons. And again, it says compare different mountain peaks from ranges around the world. From here, you can go through this list and choose whichever of these options you want to make your video about. In my case, I'm going to be creating a video about size comparison of different planets, and videos on that topic has amassed over several thousands to several millions of views. So I figured it would be a good one to create. Now the next step is to get the actual information that you will be utilizing in your video. In order to do this, we're going to be using ChatGPT. Now trust me, doing it this way, especially using the prompts I'm going to show you, is going to make it 10 times easier for when you need to create the video and 10 times faster for you. So what you want to do is in ChatGPT, you want to ask it for this prompt. In Canva, because that's the tool we're going to be using to create the video, I want to create a comparison for topic. This is where you want to insert your topic. So I'll say for planet sizes, the scene size I'm using is height 1080 pixels and width 1920, which is a YouTube video. I want you to give me the width and height in pixels for the planets. So this would be whatever topic you have, whether it be, for example, star size, superhero size, so I can represent them side by side. Also state planet name and sizes in kilometers. This prompt alone will cover everything for your video. Once you have that in, hit enter. Now, as you can see, it's given me the answer that I wanted. But if you look closer, as you can see, it's not really order in smallest to largest, which you would want it to be if you're comparing sizes. So I'll go ahead to ask it to do so by saying organize it in order of smallest planet to largest planet. Again, depending on what you create your video for, you simply change your comparison word. So now, as you can see, it has put this in order of smallest planet size to largest planet size and given us the Canva width pixel and height pixel that we'll be utilizing to create our videos. Now, one thing I will say, when you're doing this, you want to definitely verify that the information that ChatGPT is giving you is correct. In order to do this, we could simply come on over to Google and let's take Mercury, for example, and ask it Mercury's size in kilometers, and let's click the Wikipedia option. If we take a look here, as you can see, it says the size of the planet is 4,888 kilometers, which ChatGPT accurately gave us. So you could do this just to verify that all your information is correct. So now from here, you have all the information you need to move on to the next step, which is to create the first part of your video. So now in order to create the first part of your video, what you want to do is come on over to Canva. You could find a link for Canva in the description below. And once on Canva, in the search bar, you want to do a search for YouTube video chapter. And then once you've done this, you want to click create a blank video chapter. And now from here, you can actually begin generating your video. So I know I'm creating my video about space and planets. So the first thing I would need is a background of space. So in order to do this, I could go to where it says elements, and then I could do a search for stars, and then go to where it says videos, and then I could scroll through all the options and choose the one that I think looks the best. And in order to add it to your timeline, all you want to do is simply drag it on. Now it's time to add in the things that you're comparing the sizes of, in my case, the planets. So what I will do is go back to ChatGPT and see what's the first element I need to get. In my case, that's Mercury. So what I'll do is come on back over to Canva, and then I will do a search for Mercury. And then I could search to find a good icon that I prefer. So whether that be an icon from graphics, for example, this one, it looks pretty good, or that's from photos, so I could utilize this one. Or if I wanted to utilize one of these, I could take it, then click edit image, and then click where it says background remover to just have the image by itself without the background. So whichever option would work best for you. Now the next thing I need to do is look at the sizes that ChatGPT gave. So it said the width should be 14 as well as the height. So I'll come back on over to Canva, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly adjust the sizing of this. And if you look to the side, as you could see, we could see the width width and the height sizing being adjusted. Now don't worry if the sizing is way too small. With AI it will never get it right the first time. What you can do is from here is bring it to the minimum size that you're okay with. So in my case that would be about 90. So what I can do is now come on back over to ChatGPT, and then I could say have minimum size px start at 91 pxw and 91 px height. Hit enter. And now it's going to readjust all these sizes to start from the recommended sizes that I chose. The reason why you perhaps want to do this afterwards, this is what 90 px looks like with this image. But if I were to use, for example, a photo, so let's click this one and then remove the background. If I were to bring it to 91, in this case, this is what 91 looks like. You see, there's a bit of a big difference. This is something you'd want to come back to do after you actually have your icon in your scene so that you could see exactly what sizing you want it to start at. So now that we have the first planet done, the next thing we need to do is get the name of the planet. So in order to do this, you'll go to where it says text, you'll click heading, and then you simply want to type in the name of the planet. We could easily go back to ChatGPT, copy the name, come back to Canva, paste it in, and then we could edit the way this looks by changing the font style, giving it a different color, adding different effects. The choice is up to you. And then I'm simply going to adjust the sizing and the position of this so it's better visible in my scene. So this, we have the name of the planet, and now for the sizing, we're simply going to duplicate this text, now adjust it to the bottom of our planet, go back on over to ChatGPT, copy the actual sizes in kilometers, come back to Canva, paste this in, and then I'm going to adjust the sizing of this once again and the alignment. So now if I zoom all the way out, we have the first planet done. Now it's time to do the next one. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to get in the planet Neptune, because if you take a look, ChatGPT says it's about 920 pixels. But if I get to 920 pixels around here, it's now too big for my scene. How do I go about solving that? Well, it's quite easy. What you want to do is click on this page, and then you want to click duplicate page. Now you have two identical pages of the same scene. So ensuring you are on the second page, what I suggest you do is first lock the background so it doesn't move. You're going to go ahead to actually select everything in your scene, and then you're going to group it, and then you simply want to bring it sideways till you have the previous planet visible. Now once this is here, what we can do is now reduce the sizing of this till it's about the same size of the first previous planet, which would be the 920 here, because we know that's as small as we want to go, so it will look something like this. And then once that's done, what I'm going to do is now see what's the new size of the new planet Neptune. So it's 475 by 475 roughly. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say continue from Neptune with the pixel size being 475. Adjust the others afterwards accordingly and hit enter. So now as you can see, from Neptune, it has adjusted the sizings 475 and then 947 for Uranus, and as you can see, it's 489. So now I could come back on over to Canva, and I know my next planet is Uranus. So what I'm going to do is do the search for Uranus, go to photos, select the one I want to utilize. What's the sizing it said? 489. So I'm going to adjust it to 489 and do the same thing that I've been doing the whole time, adding in the titles and continue doing so. And this way, if you run out of space again, it's the same process. Simply duplicate the scene as we did the first time. You'd highlight everything, adjust the sizing. With the last one, you would tell ChatGPT what the sizing was and to adjust from there. It's literally that simple, and it takes all the pressure out of your own head in trying to figure it out. And then once you have all your items in and all your sizes in, from here, if we just take a quick little look at this, as you could see the planets and you could see the stars shining behind. But if you notice, it is pretty static. The planets aren't moving. It could be considered a little bit boring, which is why I could do this next step, which could make your video seem way better. In the elements section where you search for your items, you want to do the same search again. So for example, Mercury, but this time I'm going to go to where it says videos, and then I'm going to find a video of Mercury. So for example, this one where it's spinning, and then I'm going to click on it and add it into my timeline. But what I'll do next is click where it says edit video and then background remover. Now, as you can see, it has extended our timeline. You don't want this. It was 9 seconds before. You'll just click where it says trim, and then you'll change this to 9 seconds. So now you have your video with no background. All you want to do is now adjust the sizing of this to fit where you have Mercury before and just put it over. Now, the reason why I say to do the icons first, because it makes putting the videos way easier, since you simply just put it on top just like this. Now you have the video of the planet moving. So now you want to go ahead to do this for all of your other planets. So now, as you can see, I have gone ahead to replace all of my different planets with videos. So if we just take a quick little look, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's now moving, space is moving in the back. This all looks Perfect. Now from here, all you need to do is download your video. And I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Monique, this isn't complete. Like they're just stagnant. Where's the views? Where's the animation? We are going to get to that in the second part of editing. This is all you had to do to create, honestly, 90% of the video. So from here, in order to download it, all you want to do is click where it says share, and then you're going to click where it says download, and then ensure MP4 is selected and all of your pages are selected. You're going to click download, and it's going to be downloaded to your computer. Now, once your video is finished downloading, it's time to move on to the second step of the video editing process, which is actually just the finishing touches for this video. In order to do this, you need to come on over to your preferred video editor of your choice. For the sake of this tutorial, what I am going to be using is my favorite editor called DaVinci Resolve, but you can use any editor you prefer, whether that be CapCut, Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro. The choice is up to you. But once you're on your video editor, you want to import the video that you downloaded from Canva. And then once you have the video in, you simply want to add it into your timeline. So the first thing I'd suggest you do is find where your video changes, for example, hair, and then you're going to split that page. So now it's two different scenes. And then you're going to do the same thing for the other part. So now in order to edit it, what you want to do is grab onto your first scene. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead to zoom all the way into your first planet. So I'm using the keyframes on the side here to do so. On whichever video editor you're using, this may look different, but this is overall what you want to do. What you want to do, once it's zoomed into the spot you want it to be, you want to click on the two keyframes to keyframe the zoom in and the position. And then from here, what you want to do is move 10 spaces to the side. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you're going to keyframe this exact same position yet again. And then after you've done this, you're going to now let your video play for 2 seconds. Now that it's at that point, what you want to do is now keyframe it again, just like this. And now that you have this keyframe in, what you now need to do is zoom out to your second planet. So we're going to adjust the zoom and the positioning till we have our second planet visible, which is Mars. And then you're going to go ahead to do the same thing as you've just done. We're going to do 10 keyframes to the side to keep this position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what this does, it just keeps Mars on screen. We know it's at 220. We're going to let it play for 2 seconds yet again. And then we're going to keyframe this. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're now going to go to the next planet, just like this. You don't want to show the planet after it. So if you have a bit of the previous planet in it, that is completely fine. And then you want to just keep following this step. And then once you get to your last planet in the scene, you have to make the transitional scene from this to this. Now, in order to do this, you would go to where you keyframed your last planet. So it would have been the first keyframe, then you would have gone 10 spaces forward, and then you would have keyframed it again. And then from here, what you'd want to do is now begin to move on to the next planet. So you do the same thing. You'd go for 2 seconds, and then you'll add in a keyframe, and then you just want to zoom out as if you're making the transition to the next planet. So now what you want to do is come on over to your next scene where you do have the other planet, and what you simply want to do is just zoom into your next size item as if you're zooming out from Earth like we saw previously. So it would look somewhat like this. You want to get it to look as close as it does in the other scene. Just play with it till it looks somewhat close. It does not need to be perfect whatsoever. So you see now it kind of looks like it's transitioning here. Once that's done, all you need to do is do as you do before. You add in the first keyframe because it's now moving. And then you want to go straight into the 2 spaces forward. And I'm going to keyframe this part and simply zoom out to the full view of this planet, just as we've been doing this entire time with every other planet. And then 10 spaces forward, just so that it keeps Neptune in the scene. Then you do the same exact thing. You play for 2 seconds, you keyframe it onto the next planet, and you simply continue this process for all of the transition. Now, for some of you, this may seem a little bit difficult, but if you just follow the exact steps I gave in this video, it is not difficult whatsoever. And then once you've added in the keyframe section for all of your planets, you're done. And to further explain the keyframes, the first keyframe is holding the spot of the video. Then we added in a second keyframe, which was 10 seconds later. It actually then keeps our item on screen for 10 seconds. And then the third keyframe, which was a keyframe of the next planet, simply brings our camera view to the next planet. It should look like it's item on screen, hold for about 10 spaces, move on to the next item on screen, and then it's going to hold for about 10 spaces, move on to the next icon on screen, and then it's going to hold for about 10 spaces, move on to the next icon on screen. Do you understand how the keyframe works? It's literally just moving it about the scene. So if we take a look at what this looks like, and then move, hold, and then move, hold, and then move, hold. So you get the gist of it. It's actually very much simple to do, so don't let it intimidate you whatsoever. But once that's complete, you're 99% done with your video. There's only one last thing you need to do to make your video complete, which is add in some background music. In order to find background music for your video, what you want to do is come on over to Upbeat.io. You can find the link for it in the description below. Then once on Upbeat, what you want to do is in the search bar, you want to do a search for the type of music you'd want. So in my case, I'll just say like a dramatic space sound. And then from here, you want to scroll through all the different sounds that it has until you find the one that you'd want to use in your video. Then when you found the one that you want to use in your video, all you need to do is click where it says download, and your sound would be downloaded to your computer. From here, what you want to do is go back on over to your video editing tool and import the sound. Once you have the sound imported, all you need to do is first things first, cut off the dead space at the front, adjust the timing of your background music, and then be sure to delete the excess sound that you don't need. And then once you've done that, your video is complete. All you need to do from here is download it to your computer. And once your video has been downloaded, all you need to do is upload it to your YouTube channel. Be sure to use a tool like Canva to create your thumbnails, because that's what I personally use, and vidIQ to optimize your videos to get more views. It's also what I personally use. You'll find a link for both of these tools in the description below. And then there is something that I want you to note. Well, the first time creating this video, it may not be the most perfect video. As you continue creating it and experimenting with different types of comparisons and different types of styles and ways you could produce it, you will slowly get better and better with your production every time till you've got to the perfect spot where you want to be. Do know this is just an easy way you can go about doing this without needing to confuse yourself and get stressed out learning how to utilize 3D objects. So if you wanted to create a channel like this, now you know how. But hold on now, don't click off this video yet, because if you want to know how to create more YouTube channels, then you need to check out this playlist on my channel.